Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, we'll get started in a minute. I'm just going to advertise here a little bit. Mhm. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mhm. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Mhm. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hey, yeah. Anyway, we had a great discussion this morning. It was fantastic. I mean, I thought it was, and maybe some others did, and some may be confused by what was going on here. So I just want to get clear, help get some clarity on what actually went on, because it's definitely everything we do here is uncommon and difficult to understand unless it's explained. And these things have been explained in the past, but a lot of people don't know what they are, know these explanations. But we're going to give it a shot here. So I'm pulling up a couple of things here. There's an article on Psychology Today, and Psychology Today is about how to get your mind straight and understand various subject matters to do with the mind. And this actually has a relationship. That's the shadow of what needs to be done spiritually also, because we're kind of in a halfway house. We're like half human and half divine, type thing, and the human side and the divine have to integrate, and this is quite a process, and it's quite a science actually. And yeah, so that's what we're working on here. So here's the article in Psychology. We'll start a discussion here like this. Okay, let's see how we do this here, like this, like this, or like this. How about like this? Oh, I know what I gotta do. Okay, okay, that's like that. Okay. Hmm. Trying to make it bigger here. Let's see how I can do that. Maybe here. Let's see. How do we make it bigger? Okay, I can't make it. I'll just have to read it. Just have to read it here. So I'll just make me bigger here. Okay, so I'm just going to read it off basically from this other angle. Okay, so this morning we had like conflict resolution and type of thing happening here, and some people were a little bit confused, like, what's going on here? This isn't spiritual. This is not what we've seen in spirituality. What do you see in spirituality usually? You see religion. So, what do you see in religion that you can think is usually spirituality? You see people going to church, and you see them listening to the minister and singing these beautiful divine songs, or in the temple singing, dancing, right? Up and down. Oh, it's spiritual. This is so spiritual. But inside, is there any change? Maybe small amount. Usually go back to your life. And you never really got in deep with anybody. You just went to church, or you went to the temple, had your little up and down and chanting and saying Jai Prabhu, Jai Prabhu, and then you go home. Oh, superficially have the afterwards. You have prasadam, you eat, and then you go. What has really happened? Probably not much. Not much transformation. Not much development of relationship with God and with people. You notice Jesus had a saying, and that's very applicable to here because we expand on that. He said, "They shall know that you're my disciples by how much you love each other." Yeah? Our love for God is also related about how we love each other, how we love people in our sangha, starting here. Okay, because we have this one side, and sorry if it steps on toes, but this is so important. Even if it steps on your toes, just keep listening, because this is the most important thing you probably ever heard in any lifetime about spirituality and how to really make it all the way with God, with Krishna, all the way to home base. And not only that, do very effective work in this world. Very effective. See, so there's a deep secret esoteric teaching that Jesus meant in this, because this is what it's all about. Because people have loved God, they have Holy Spirit devotion, all that stuff. See? How are our relationships with people here in the world? How are our relationships with each other? See? That needs some work, doesn't it? But nobody usually wants to do that work. I don't blame you. I don't know. I don't want to do that work because we have to confront conflict. See, and you notice Krishna, we may say, well, we want to try every way we can to avoid conflict. We block people because they trigger us, and so that's painful. It brings up what we were when we were children, and how we were treated by our parents and all this pain. It's easier to run away. That's why people, they come here and say, "What's going on? What's going on?" Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought this was a spiritual place. And then you have some devotees with the highest ecstasy, and then they start acting like, and which I actually wanted. I wanted this personally. I thought, because I knew it would be very healthy in the long run. Even psychology today talks about this. Even in our relationships with the world talks about this. So on the mental and physical level, it says it's very healthy. Here's the title of the article here. Why conflict is healthy for relationships. So if it's healthy for relationships, I'll just take this thing off. It doesn't really help here. This is the article we're using here anyway. Yeah. So if conflict is healthy, according to psychology today, for relationships with our bodies, yeah, I'll get to your question there in a minute, Freddie. Why wouldn't it be healthy for deepening our relationship with God? Because isn't it funny? This automatically comes up. There's a psychologist who is also a spiritual guy, on a little bit on the Mayavadi side, but a very nice, intelligent guy. He's helping his disciples and students make spiritual progress. And you know what he found out? Oh my God! Conflict comes up between the people trying to make spiritual advancement. That seems to be part of the process. But what do they do in religion when this conflict starts to come up? Etiquette. In Vaishnavism, oh well, this is the way you're supposed to be, Prabhu. Don't express yourself. Be quiet. Put a mask on. See? Don't this is the way it is to be spiritual. This is the way it is to be humble. I don't know about you. I don't want to go for that. I'm not interested in religion at all like that. Oh, that's not very humble of you, Prabhu, to express your mind and to say what you really feel. That's not very humble, you Prabhu. You're supposed to be comply and be submissive. Don't ask questions. Don't get mad. Don't get angry. That ain't spiritual. No, no, just show everybody ah-dee-da-dee-da, that side. So, there's a point where you have to just admit, okay, I just can't deal with that. That's okay. It's very painful. I know. Very painful that we have ecstatic devotees here that there's, oh, this is so wonderful. Oh, this is beautiful. We got those, right? We know. I have to name any names. But then there's conflict when it comes down to the nitty gritty when you're dealing with even the Sangha members. We don't want. Oh no, 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 no. Let's. And by the way, I'm not telling you have to do this. This is all voluntary. Okay, so don't say Gauri is talking. You're forcing me to do that. That's your own bullshit. To be honest with you, that's your own conditioning. I ain't telling you to do this. I'm just talking truth, man. Truth that I know, that I believe in, that I've experienced, that I've been going through and still going through. So it's up to you. Apply it, use it, or don't use it. You may not agree. I don't know. Still, I consider this the truth. I consider this the quick way to not only love God, but to love everybody in the Sangha and never block them again, if you want to have that. Otherwise, there'll be people here that wonder, why is this person blocking them? Why are you blocking your brother? At least you guys that are like the holy rollers and Holy Spirit, which is beautiful, wonderful, at least admit that you got shit, man, and you can't deal with it. You're blocking your neighbors. Just admit, like, I got shit. I just can't deal with it, man. I'm in pain. We're in too much pain. I need to block them. Now that's called repentance. Because why else, if you really love God and really intimate with God, well, to make that grounded, to bring that here, you have to see that same God in other people. I mean, if you want to perfect it, this is just an opportunity. You don't have to do this. You can go your whole life in ecstasy and everything, and there'll be certain people that you like and certain people you dislike. But that's conditioning, my friends. Do you want to go all the way with Krishna? That's Lord Chaitanya. Do you really want to know the depths of your relationship with Lord Chaitanya? Well, the more you develop a tolerance for being triggered and to be in the conflict, even though you don't look, oh, I'm not looking very good. I'm usually Mr. Ecstatic or Mrs. Ecstatic. This is not good for my reputation to look like this. I'm ashamed of this. See? All I'm just saying is if you want to make this complete, you want to go all the way to the depth, you want to be like Lord Chaitanya, who gave mercy to everyone and anyone without blocking. He didn't have to block anybody. There was a point he didn't block anybody. But the opportunity is here. Or you can go as far as you want, You can just stay in this with Krishna and everything, and there'll be certain persons that you'll agree with, and those who you don't like, you can just block the door, just take them off Facebook. And you just go through your whole life. That's okay. No problem. You don't have to do this. This is just for the adventuresome, the ones who want to go deep into this jungle and find the deepest treasure. See, so what does psychology today talk about? Uh, Conflict. Here, I'll read the thing here. Why conflict is healthy for relationships. Wow, wouldn't it be nice if we had a new paradigm? The old conditioning says what we're taught in schools and everything. Conflict is very unhealthy for your relationships. Conflict is bad. So we have that program we're running. Well, I'm going to give you everybody invite you to have this opportunity to hear a new program, a program that is actually more healthy, progressive in your understanding of man and God. Here's opportunity, just ideas. Yeah, yeah. I'll get into your comments too. We'll go over these in a little bit. See, so why conflict is it? So conflict is here, and a lot of people, it's natural. We're used to running away. That's our conditioning. Oh, there's conflict, block it. I don't want to, tell that person anything. I don't want to speak to that person. I would just block it. I do the same thing. I don't want to. Who wants conflict? This is the purge before prema. Yeah, see, yeah, yeah. This is how we actually, yeah. It basically is through this kind of thing. Okay, now the first conception of conflict, perhaps the number one reason why conflict is healthy for a relationship, is that conflict signals a need for change for both parties. Conflict provides an opportunity for making change if both partners are up for it. Conflict gives you a chance to work on problems in your relationships. Okay, so there you go. If you see that, if both parties are up for it. That's why I say this is. I'm just talking about how to go deeper in this. See, in a balance of loving God and that showing to the world in that we love each other, especially starting with our own family here. See? So conflict produces an opportunity for a change in our relationships. Not confronting the conflicts that are there doesn't cause our relationships to change. See? So if we have a new way of looking at things, see, like this, oh, really? This could be good. Okay, what am I feeling? Is, oh God, I really hate this person right now. I really hate you. That's what I'm really feeling. I really don't like what you did. Like a little children. Yeah, you just, like that. Instead of stuffing it and running away, blocking people. I mean, you can do it. As I say, you can do it. Or maybe admitting, like, yeah, it's just too painful. Man. I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to go there. Okay, that's honest. You're honest with yourself. You're not fooling yourself. So if you're at least at that point, that's great. You know. Okay, what do we say? Okay, let me read some of these things now. Okay, I'll go back here. Hare Krishna. So Freddie says having quarrels all the time is not a sign of love, and keep on spinning in one's traumas and project that on others isn't love either. Yeah, but you see the thing is, Freddie, you're not really accurate. That person you're talking about is not doing that all the time. Yeah, proof is okay. Let's just use names here. Yeah, River. You're talking about River, I'm sure. Is she not doing this all the time? She give a beautiful class, inspiring people. Were you there? I don't know. Probably not. You probably have conflict. You can't take advantage. Oh, I get so much. I love to hear the preaching of the sincere devotees who have surrendered their lives to Guru Krishna and the Vaishnavas. And, I don't have any, personally, I'm more free than you are. You probably can't even go. You can't even listen because that would get you into conflict, man. Maybe, I don't know. But I can take advantage because I've already done my little thing there with her. I just confronted things. See, it's not. See, that is in a sense, Freddie. You're not being honest. That's not all the time. That's just the way that you frame it in your mind. That is not as it is. That is not accurate. That's only a way that you can justify you're not confronting that conflict. I'm going to be honest with you, Fred. You just justify because that ain't true. She's not always like that. Sometimes, you know. And that's actually beneficial because at least she's got the balls, to be real. And yeah, she's got that. She admits it. She doesn't really want to be that way. She can't help it. This is the stuff in there. She's getting it out. See, but you see, you're justifying yourself. Oh, but she does this all the time. She doesn't do this all the time. Yeah, maybe you should have a discussion. And as I say, this is if both parties are willing to do it. You may not be willing. You may think, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get into that. I'm just going to hold that idea. To me, I'm just saying you're not. To me, that doesn't look completely honest because that's not true. That's not the way I see it. You can let's we can other people. Do you see is River all the time like that, or is it just sometime, or even a lot of time, but not all the time? She gives great classes for hours every day, and then she has this stuff that's this is an incidental thing. Exorcism of these things have to come out, and they trigger people here. I'm sure it's triggering you. You don't like it. You don't want to confront it. Yeah, but look how ecstatic she is. Man, must be working something. Whatever she's doing must be working. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, Ray Davies says, I'm a little in conflict with myself today. Okay, you are clear, Prabhu. I understand. Great. Thanks, William, for understanding. Okay, the time to dump those shit cans for Christ's sake. Yeah, this is our Christmas present. Merry Christmas, everybody. So I have some internal controversies going on. Okay, I'd embark on a new way of life, but have been engaging in some old patterns of behavior. And this is causing some inner conflict that I'm taking to the Lord. Yeah. So are those so let me ask a question. You don't have to say what they are. Are those other behaviors, are they endangering your life? Are they endangering your progression, do you think? Or are they negative, so negative? Or are they just natural and they're just not condoned by religion and religious suppressions and religious hypocrites that don't condone those things? So I asked that question. You can come back with the answer. Freddie says, okay, what does Freddie say here? When there is constant conflict, that's also not healthy. Yeah, as I say, it's not constant conflict. So that's not true. That's personally in my the way I see it. In for you, you use that so that you can have to stay away. Oh, you see, this is why I stay away. She's always like that. She ain't always like that. Nobody's always like anything. But we can take shelter of that idea. That keeps us away. We're justified. You see. Amen. Yes, Srila Prabhupada would say, your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate with one another. Exactly. But, they didn't cooperate very well, you know, until they had this thing, well, we'll cooperate like demons do. Demons do. They said, well, we'll cooperate. We don't really like each other. And we're all full of shit. But we'll cooperate so we can take over the world and rule the Hare Krishna movement with an iron fist, and that we can enjoy the world and all of being religious leaders and all the worship and all that. See, we'll cooperate for that reason. Yeah, that's the cooperation of the world. Yeah, I get it. Conflict puts us through a fire and shapes us into what Krishna expects us to be. Yeah, and Krishna is not expecting it; just happens. You just you get purified. That's like that secret in Krishna in 10th canto, Krishna's pastime with the gopis. Okay? He wanted more closeness with the gopis. The gopis were praying, just like you ecstatic devotees. You're praying all the time. Oh, Krishna, I want you more. I want you more. I want you more. And then the Lord fulfills your prayers. He says, "Okay, well, the way you can get more close to me is if I take some more clothes off." What is the clothing? Your conditioning. If I can get at that conditioning, then we'll have even more close relations. Matter of fact, you'll be not only close with me in spirit, but in spirit in the world with your brothers and sisters. But I have to take some clothes off of you. And that's, and a lot of people, no, 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 don't do it. Don't take my clothes off. No, 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 no. I don't want to see that person. I don't want to talk to them. Oh, they're, look at them. They're just blah, blah, blah. They're bad. They're this, they're that. So he took the clothes, he stole their clothes. Well, this is like Krishna stealing your clothes. They didn't like it at first, right? But then they got closer with the Lord. You get closer with the Lord. After a while, you start loving the devotees. Huh? Don't tell me you love God perfectly when you don't love River perfectly. How is loving River perfect? Well, you know, she's the external manifestation of God with a little crust. But you look at the crust. What was see the pastime Lord Chaitanya this morning? Was he looking at the crust of Vasudev, who had sores all of his body, or did he look at the internal condition, man? And he embraced him. He wasn't looking at the crust. But we look at the crust, right? I'm getting better at it too, and I love it. And I love sharing, passing. I just want to pay it forward to you guys, man. How would you like to look at what's inside? Well, that's what I do with River. You know, I love, wow, what's inside there's beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm learning to even do it with Karuna a little bit more better. I'm getting better at it with him. Yeah, what's inside River? Oh, deep faith, man, deep surrender. Look at a lady on a machine for 30 years, 30 something years on a machine every day, every other day, man. With all kinds of sicknesses that come from the rheumatoid arthritis and everything. And she comes here every day and she's preaching for the mission. And Freddie looks at her. Well, she's always like baloney, man. And I see anyway. I just want to pay it forward to you, Freddie, and everybody else. Man, it's so great, man. I look at River. I'm not, you know, I used to be triggered, but they're better now. And now I look and say, oh, look at my Lord is inside her. Let me go kiss her feet. Let me embrace this girl. Wow, she's so sincere. Look at that. She's a nah. I don't care. I don't even. I don't. What did that? I don't see that anymore. I'm looking at her heart, man. See? Anyway, it's an opportunity to go into that. You start to see the Lord in others, especially when He's awake in others like that. Otherwise, you're always a little bit distant. See, I get it. Conflict puts it through fire and expect. Yeah. Tonight, Lalita Ganga took me off guard. I am a guru, not a guru, just as like a grandfather. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hey, let me tell you how hard that was for Lalita. You think she wanted to, she knew. Gohari pushed me into this corner. She didn't want to say that. You think that was an easy thing for her to do? You think it was easy for her to come up? This was a big thing for her. That's why I was very happy and oh, this is very wonderful. She's speaking her truth, speaking it out now, and not pushing it in and holding it and walking on eggshells. You know, it's better to just get it out, man. You know? So I encourage this. It's very healthy. It's under a controlled environment. You know, Krishna's in control of all of this stuff. It's perfect. I love it, man. Maybe not all. Sometimes I don't like it when I'm going through it. Who does? See, but it's an opportunity to change in our relationships, even in this world. And then you see people say, "Wow, look how much they love each other." Not only do they love God, but they love each other. They're not. They see their brothers and sisters. See, replying to William Griffith, it was not your right to take over a guru who is in charge. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and for Lalita's sake, yeah, I understand. I see the heart of William also, And it wasn't like he wanted to take. It's just he felt he was off guard. It was a surprise, the whole thing, and he was just acting naturally. It's okay, it's good. Andromeda, pussyfooting Freddie, pussyfooting Freddie. Hey, you see what she called you? A pussyfoot there, Freddie. Pussyfooting. I think I agree with him. Is it our ego that prevents us from dealing with conflict? Okay, great question. Well, you could say it's the ego, but what is it? What is the ego? It's just false identification with the conditioning. See, we're spirit soul inside here. That's who we are. See? The conditioning is the false identification with the. That's the false ego. Ego means identity. But what is see? People in the Maya bodies want to get rid of their identity. See, that's inconclusive. See, devotees want to awaken their spiritual identity. Yeah, and so as we're dealing with the conflict and it's being resolved in us in our relationships, they become naturally more loving because this is the big challenge here is we're becoming loving spiritually. This has never not often been done. This is very rare to develop this kind of that's why there's going to be some of this going on conflict here. And as it's resolved, dissolved, resolved. See, then we'll be relating to the spiritual body, which is naturally loving towards God and each other. There's no more identification. This person, you start relating. Oh, look, you look at the hearts of people. That's when you're ready to be guru. Then you look at the hearts of people. Oh, look how Let's use River as an example. She's a good example. She's right out there. Look at she's a bitch. She's envious, sometimes jealous, and all these things coming out. But look at her heart. What's her heart is? It's pure heart, man. She actually loves God. God loves her. She loves to hear her guru speak, just like Lalita loves to hear her guru speak. See, on a heart basis, Lalita's heart is very pure. So is River's. On an external basis, they all got their stuff. Lalita maybe has been kind of keeping it down because of her conditioning. That's the false ego, is identifying yourself as the conditioning. That's why if you think, oh, this person brings up fear in me. Fear? The spiritual body doesn't feel any material fear. They're just bringing it up. It's there. It's lurking in the darkness. And that's why you block. You want to keep. Oh, this brings up my fear. Well, hey, man, it's bringing it up. See, bringing up the fear. It's in there anyway. It's in and comes out more, and the more it's out. Where's the fear? Your spiritual body. Anyway, you just got rid of some clothing for the soul. This fear thing. This is your old condition. It's coming out because this bitch there, this lady, is dude, just not holding back, and just letting it rip. She's not supposed to do this. She's supposed to respect me, keep me, this. Don't bring this stuff out of me. But it happens because we're all under the direction of Krishna in that way. Replying to William, of course, what else? The soul. Replying to William, Lalita Ganga Guru opened the mic for this open discussion. I have enough to deal with here. Taking over anything is not my focus. Yeah, you got to understand, everybody, we're going to trigger each other. You know, People might not say the nice thing. Maybe it hurts us even. Oh, I feel hurt. Is that bad necessarily? Well, we're conditioned it's bad. We've been taught it's bad. Our parents say don't ever feel anything hurt. Repress it, always defend your false identification. Defend your conditioning. See, but anyway, this is actually a way of healing too. Healing by releasing this stuff. There was a guy I met in the hot springs many many years ago, Harbin Hot Springs, California. I spent 6 months there, going through a big transformation. Uh, he was a psychologist in Hawaii, and we were talking about feelings. He said, "Yeah, I have a whole practice all about feeling." He says, he was making tons of big money just getting people to confront conflicts that awakened their feelings that they didn't want to face. He said, when I got people to tolerate their own feelings that came up in situations, their healing happened automatically just by them feeling like that. Just by feeling their feelings that came up in confronting different things, there was a healing that happened. And it even goes faster than with what we're doing here. Took me some inner peace. I used to grow a lot of weed in the 80s, 90s. Okay. And I found myself venturing back into some grow rooms the other day, and I'm at odds with myself about it. Uh, yeah. Well, is is that going to mess up your spiritual life? Okay. Well, one thing to do, I know for me was really nice, is to learn about stuff. Learn about what is the response of taking smoking weed and alcohol and drugs, and it's very interesting if you get the right information, because what you do is you get a spike in this dopamine and this other response. That's something I forgot what I think it's dopamine. It's a big, huge spike in dopamine, which gives you a higher level of pleasure, usually. See, a higher level of pleasure and relaxation. Okay? And so people get addicted to pot and alcohol when they do this a lot. They just get addicted because they get used to that spike. Okay? And that's what happened. That causes an addiction pattern, because the spike, your brain will do anything to get that spike. After a while, that's called the addiction. You're used to that kind of special pleasure. You get the spike, you get the spike. You want to. So anyway, that's kind of why it happens. According to, sounds reasonable to me. What this guy did studies for years on it. You can get addicted to Facebook. It does a dopamine thing too. That's yeah. Okay, I'm going to just kind of go through this because I'm kind of like, I don't want to spend too much time on this, just so people get the basic idea of what's happening. Okay, number two, conflict shows you that you and your partner, that your lives are interdependent. Okay, see, conflict will get you through. And I see this when people are having conflicts here in our Sangha, and then they have a little thing, the conflict starts to erupt, and then they go to their corners, they run away. See, so they never get through the conflict. And what happens is you don't see how interdependent our lives are on each other here, especially what we're doing. You don't see how interdependent this is, how people are depending on you, and until you can resolve the complex conflicts that you are having with relationships here, which are pretty easy to do. You just hang in there and you just be real. You won't see that interdependence. You won't see how these people, like say, like new family members come, and you won't see that they're really dependent. They need you. It gives them inspiration when you're dealing with them. Uh, we're interdependent in our preaching. People look and they say, "Wow, I don't know what's going on here. You don't even love your sister because your sister is like this." And you don't want to deal. You block them and all that stuff. So there's other ways to look at it. Like, okay, River's got this thing that's coming out, and but it's triggering you guys. In a sense, you could thank her. Oh, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Because if she wasn't doing that, who's going to do that for you? Better to keep this resolution in the family because people misunderstand it. They misunderstand it here. Right? So hey, someday you'll thank her for bringing that up because who else would do it? See, it's an opportunity to change and to see the interdependence that we have on each other in our preaching. Yeah. See, no matter how bad you may think that river is, because well, you look, this can't be what look because she's real with that and deal with that, and she may be crossing some boundaries with people, like almost pushing them to deal with it. But still, look at her preaching. She reaches a wide variety of people. People like her, in spite of having that other side. So people have their little empowerments here. My mom used to say to me, "I always love you, but I don't always like you." I say the same thing about people. Ray Davy, this is what's causing my interconflict. Don't know if I should be flirting with this odd way after barking at a new one. Yeah, if you can withhold it, because why not get the spike here? You can get this spike naturally by developing attraction for Krishna. If you get into that, that might be a big problem because you have that before. Your addictive pattern might come back and cause a problem here. Why not just get the natural high? Come here, you could spike up on the holy name more and more. You'll become an ecstatic devotee. Then you'll have this spike. It'll be natural. It'll make you more free. In the name, in God's name, you'll have full freedom. So yeah, if you can avoid it, stay away. For this honesty that you are showing here, my dearest Gurudev, I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. Well, this stuff works, man. It's really beautiful. It can expand our service. You won't have to be so selective. Whoever will come to you, you can help them. What have we got here? Freddie, then let me put it that way. Does River love her parents? Karuna or the Sangha members, she kicks Karuna out of the caravan on a regular basis. Yeah, well, does she? Yeah, of course. She has her. They're working it out, man. They're together still. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's take that one. She kicks Karuna out on a regular basis. Well, she might be. This is the thing. We have to moderate our ability to tolerate the pain of our conditionings. And maybe it's just and the conditionings of others. Maybe it's just too much to have them dumping all their shit on us all the time. It's a balance. You just have to need to look. Oh yeah, that's why she kicks up. It gets to be too much. Hey man, Karuna, get into the caravan. I need some space from that now. See, there's nothing wrong with that. You're drawing boundaries. We should all do that. You know, but don't. I mean, you don't have to. This is an invitation, by the way. You don't have to draw your boundaries all the way over and then seal up the bounds. Okay, I'll never let you in. I'll never confront this conflict. I'll block you and we'll stay blocked. Or you can say, well, okay, I need to retreat here. That's enough I've had with you. That's enough of that. I'll just come and I'll process this and we'll be back for more conflict resolution. And the more, if it doesn't kill you, which it won't, you become stronger spiritually. That's all. Oops. What is this? Overreacting. I apologize to Lolita for overreacting. Apparently, my ego got in the way. Now, you see, there's nothing wrong with. See, you don't have to. Actually, you don't have to apologize for that. You were you were acting naturally, but you can apologize. Whatever, I mean, I'm just saying. In a sense, that was natural for you to do that. It was, it's beautiful. It was natural for Lolita in her state to also do that. But I guess apologizing could be good. For we just it may happen again there, William. It's okay too. We seldom know the journey another goes through, and sometimes we precondition ideas how people should be. This morning has proven this Sangha is real bona fide family. Oh, see, it's good. I told you this is a positive thing here going on here. What is this? What is this here? I don't want any pinned message. What is this pinned thing? Okay. Most of the Sangha members live as singles in their homes and don't have personal relationships with one another. The only thing we have in common is that we come to Sadhu Sangha um, to get purified from our conditioning. Well, that's part of it, Freddie. You want to be purified of your conditioning? Well, that comes by participating too more. And purified of your conditioning becomes thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven or in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, they have transcendental relationships. It's not just one person there or just two. It's a family, and that's happening here. This is an opportunity to grow into a very intimate, ecstatic, and loving family. But that conditioning is in the way, and this is how it's resolved, not by running away from it. We just come together just to release the conditioning. But yeah, well, this is how you release the conditioning by being yourself and expressing yourself here to the devotees like you are, and interacting, all this stuff, and then Okay, I'm going to go to the next saying here. Let's see if I got it. Oh, that's it. Okay, see, only two things. Really? No, there's three things. Yeah, here we go. Okay, conflict is almost never about what it seems to be about on the surface. Your partner taking not taking the trash out tonight isn't really why you are mad. It is probably something deeper. See, it's probably something deeper is the key. It is something deeper. See, so your problem with, and that's the whole thing. By confronting the conflict, by confronting the conflict, you go deeper in everything, in your realization, in your understanding of that. I see that often when people are having conflict. They think it's about what they're the out. That's like the tip of the iceberg. But you remain with that conflict and be expressing more stuff. What comes out is more truth about it. You realize, oh, okay, see, it wasn't really that. It was something else, and and it gets resolved. See, that's a way to go deeper. Otherwise, you stay, oh, he's always like that. She's always like that. And that's that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think enough of this incidental activity here. Yeah. No, I think it was important, though. We discussed this a little bit. So, as I say, this is just an invite. You don't have to do this. You can go and worship God, and only God, to your heart's content. I mean, there's one lady, who left the sangha, more or less. She left, and now she's just me and Krishna. And okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, it's okay. This is just an invite to go deeper, um, what I consider deeper, in deeper inside and outside. In your, you make the inside outside now. Oh, you're intimate with the Lord inside. All right, let's see you do that outside with the the Lord in the hearts of the devotees. These external manifestations of the super soul that are manifested here. Okay, good. So thank you for coming and listening. Whew, I need a rest after this. Krishna.